Hey, this is Matt. Once again, we're about to see the videos of the paid request, this time from my good friend Efree. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, PayPal is usually the best bet. Also have a Patreon as well. Links are in the info box over there or over there. I think over there now they're at. But one of the films Efree wanted me to look into was School U.S.A, which is a made-for-TV movie. I believe it was NBC back in 1983, the year I was born. Of course, a few years before Michael J. Fox, who's the star of this, would be on Back to the Future. But this is around the time he was on the show Family Ties, among other stuff. And funny enough, speaking of Back to the Future, this also has Crispin Glover, later being Back to the Future. Now, the film itself is not much to talk. Well, it's not much in terms of plot and story. It's more about the cast in this. And that's why at the end of the day, it was okay enough as a time waster. It was entertaining enough as a time waster just because of the cast. Because not only do you have Michael J. Fox and Crispin Glover, you have Anthony Edwards as your villain. John Drees, who was in Friday Night Part 2. He was in Napoleon Dynamite. Todd Bridges, Dana Plato, Bob Denver, Gilligan from Gilligan's Island, and like other people from TV in prior years. And the story is pretty simple. It's Michael J. Fox, who does a good job. I mean, you can tell even films like this, made for TV films, he has such a charm to him that you tell this guy's going to be a leading man someday. He can really make it work. He has that likable charm to him. Kind of like you would see, people like Chris Pratt and like the people today doing stuff, that kind of personality. But Michael J. Fox had it and then some. That's why it's such a shame to what happened to him with his affliction, the Parkinson's. Not only in a selfish manner for me, we lost out on so many movies and roles that he would have done, but in a more serious, just the fact he seems like a good guy and he's going through all that for what will be the rest of his life is just a damn shame. It's like seems like a guy that doesn't deserve that, and just a crying shame. And that's why it was kind of nice to see this. I'd never seen it before. Like I said, he is the star of it. And he has some fun lines. How about pick you up at 8 and we'll do nothing together? His best friend is played by Todd Bridges from Diff'rent Strokes, among other stuff he's done throughout the years. And it's one of those, it's very goofy, it's very silly. I mean, they're high school students. Todd Bridges has a robot that he built. It's kind of the underdogs versus the preppy rich kids. Anthony Edwards, who was a nerd in Revenge of the Nerds, he plays the other side, this preppy rich guy named Bo. Of course, Anthony Edwards, he was also in Miracle Mile, among other movies. You have this girl that the rich guy's going out with, but Michael J. Fox likes her. And it's the same actress who would later be in another movie Efree wanted me to review, Poison Ivy, which is another TV movie that was made a couple years after. So Michael J. Fox and this girl played possible love interests in both films, interesting enough. And you do have like a cast of characters that have a bit of personality to them. Crispin Glover, of course, plays another weirdo, because usually he does play weirdos. In this case, he's like wearing overalls. He's talking with a cadence that almost like if Elmer Fudd didn't have his... Like if Elmer Fudd didn't talk in W's, Wackly Wabbit, if he didn't do that, but he had that low like cadence, that's kind of how Crispin Glover talks. And him and his buddy, they're trying to get on dates and people keep shutting them down. And they're kind of interesting characters on themselves, their personalities. Plus, again, it's Crispin Glover, so you don't have more than likely a quirky performance. There's these other two girls that their role throughout the film is really they want to take a picture of, which I guess is kind of a change of pace. Usually it's a guy or guys want to take pictures of a new girl. In this case, it's two girls want to take a picture of a new guy. In this case, they catch Anthony Edwards with his pants down. So they're, usually it's guys sneaking to look at girls in the shower. Now it's girls trying to look at guys in the shower to take a picture. So kind of a nice change of pace. But that's all there is to those two characters. There's really nothing else to them. One says I won't take my clothes off, even for my husband, unless it's Burt Reynolds or maybe Richard Gere. So that shows you the time period we're in. Sorry, with this TV movie. Sorry about that, I went down the wrong pipe. Maybe because I'm thinking of Richard Gere and gerbils. But anyway, like I say, it is one of those silly movies. One of the teachers is a blind teacher who's pretty much a Nazi. Because he talks with a German accent. And then even near the end of the film, he mentions I should get my uniform. So, I'm like, okay, so he really is a blind Nazi as a teacher. Crispin Glover's dad is played by Bob Denver. That kind of says it all. If you're sold on the idea that Bob Denver Gilligan is Crispin Glover's dad, then this is a movie for you. It is for free on YouTube. And Michael J. Fox, he's one of the reasons I did like it for what it was. Because, like I say, he has that personality, and he's able to throw these jokes that maybe in lesser hands I would not have laughed at, but because of the way he delivers the dialogue, it made me smirk and chuckle. Or maybe because I just miss Michael J. Fox. I've always been a fan of his. The Hard Way, The Frighteners, Casualties of War, Back to the Future films. Even the third one I warmed up to. I was never the biggest Back to the Future 3 fan, but I warmed up to it for a bit. I don't mind it compared to when I was a kid. I even like, what's that movie? Greedy. Secret to My Success is okay. Doc Hollywood. But anyway, it just has a very personable quality to him. So he's looking at the teachers like, how do you do that? You're so blind. How do you do that? We'll do Vegas. And the principal's like, how do I get you the care? And Michael J. Fox is like, I care. I happen to care. I very deeply care on who becomes the Playmate of the Year. But he makes that dialogue work with his delivery and his performance, at least for me. Same with Crispin Glover. His quirky way, there's a bully trying to mess with him, and the guy's like, well, maybe I'll mess up your face. And then Michael J. Fox comes up and goes, hey, you don't need to do that. Look at him. Nature already took care of that. And then Crispin, without missing a beat, goes, that's right. Listen to the man. He's clear-headed. So Michael J. Fox literally tells him he's ugly. Why, listen, you don't have to do that, man. Nature already took care of that for you. And then Crispin agrees, yeah, he's right. Listen to the man. Okay, he's clear-headed. And like I said, it is interesting to see these two guys work together before Back to the Future. Like I said, Todd Bridges makes a robot. And it's the way the robot looks is what you would think a 1983 made-for-TV movie robot would look like. Like an overgrown toy. And you must have seen the actors look at this going, are we really doing this? Really? Isn't this kind of stupid? Well, yeah, the whole movie's pretty stupid. Oh, okay. You also have one character who's very, very dumb. Like he's playing the arcade, and Michael J. Fox goes, "Hey, you know what would even be better? If you put a quarter in." And so he starts the game. He's like, "Oh wow!" Or he's doing not the pole vault, but the one where you jump over it, but he just jumps under it. Lower 2 feet. So the guy's committed to that role, and that stuff was kind of funny. Anthony Edwards is playing prickly. It's like, well, they couldn't get the guy, what's his name? Karate Kid. Cannot believe I forgot his name. Damn it. I'm so bad with names. But it's like, we couldn't get him, so let's get Anthony Edwards. But he works well. William Zabka, of course. It's like, well, he works, They couldn't get Billy Zabka. He being Karate Kid in '84. But, yeah, Anthony Edwards works as the prickly guy. Now, granted, it's kind of just a series of loosely linked events throughout the film. Some teachers are trying to impress the rich kid because if they do, then they'll get some bonus. And like one teacher, she's bad at the guy for doing this, and you should have some morals and stand your ground. That stuff I didn't really care about. I wasn't really that interested in. It ultimately leads to Michael J. Fox's tired of Anthony Edwards' behavior. So, you know what, let's have a drag race. It'll be for some serious money. But he knows his car can't do it, so they're going to steal Crispin Glover's dad's car. But then Crispin Glover... the bad guys find out about this, so they get two girls to try to seduce Crispin Glover and his buddy. Which they do, they get the car out, and they crash the car. Sorry, I guess this is spoilers. Sorry, I'm spoiling this '83 made-for-TV movie. Spoilers. So then Michael J. Fox, of course, is freaked out about this, but then they work together to fix it and try to make this all work out. Well, actually, not that car, because when that car's messed up, then he's like, oh my god, Christopher Glover's like, oh my god, my dad's going to kill me. I do like the bit where him and his buddy, they're ready to run away. Where are we going to? We're going to the military, the army. I think like his cousin went into. Oh yeah, how come I never heard of him? He died in boot camp. And let's say it may not sound like a funny line, but again, with the way some of these actors deliver it, it went at a good enough pace. It didn't seem too boring. Michael J. Fox, the romance between him and the girl is sweet enough. That's it. It didn't feel that there was too many lulls in between. And I did because it's like, oh, okay, the recognizable cast. Bob Denver, like they get him drunk, and they put him in the car, and then they pretend like they've been in a wreck. So when Bob Denver wakes up, he's like, "Are you guys okay? Oh, I should have let you drive." Oh yeah, we're okay. Just man. So that was quick thinking of Michael J. Fox's part. So they take Michael's car. They use the robot to help with the engine and all this other stuff for the big race. And it's one of those films that it just, he's going to win. He does win. The robot gets built up. There's the big dance at the end. Lo and behold, the two girls get their picture because at the end it's like, oh, robot by behind. Robot takes that literally, pulls his pants down. Girls take the picture. Crispin Glover and the guy get a date. Michael J. Fox gets the girl. And it ends on a freeze frame. So, if there's a movie that's going to remind you of the 80s, totally, it's a film like this. Even ends on a freeze frame. We don't have that kind of stuff anymore. I can't remember, what was the last film that ended on a freeze frame? I'm trying to think. What was the... Has there been a newer movie that's ended on a freeze frame? I don't know. Can't remember the last time I saw that in a newer movie. So, like I said, it's very silly. It's very goofy. Dana Plato plays one of the high school students. She's not in the film, I don't think, a whole lot. John Grease, he's in it from time to time as a guy that's been held back so many times that he even has a wife and a kid. And then expecting another kid. Yes, not all the elements come together 100%. It seems like they want to have this kind of friendship between Michael J. Fox and the principal, but the principal's in it sporadically, so sporadically that you don't really feel a big impact if that's supposed to be a friendship they had with each other. Like I said, if you don't know this cast, I don't know how much you would get out of this. But I would say this: if you're all looked at the cast and it intrigues you, it's a goofy. I keep repeating that. It was a fun enough time waster. It got a couple chuckles out of me. I enjoyed Michael J. Fox's performance. It was cool to see people in their early stages. And then the older TV stars of yesteryear in their later stages, like Bob Denver. And yeah, I think people get... There is people that would get a kick out of this for nostalgia or seeming nostalgia. Just the way how these type of films were back in the day. Harmless fluff. It's harmless fluff. There's nothing too... It's a very tame movie. It makes sense. It's an NBC made-for-TV movie. Comedy. So it may be harmless fluff, but it was entertaining enough that I had a good enough time with it. So, there you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.